welcome to Steve McDonald's Crafting, and what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be making a quick centrepiece for the Christmas table. Now all I've got here is two pieces of thickish paper that's A3 size. I'm going to stick them together in the middle like this, just using some tape. And the great thing is you don't have to be over neat with this bit. This is just so you can really get a good sized piece of paper. Now, if you've got some larger paper, all the better. Just use that. You don't need to use bits like this. And if you haven't, then use 4 pieces of A4 paper. Just stick those together. So now we've got a nice sized piece of paper here. And all I need to do now is wrap this round like this into a cone. And I want it so there's a fairly decent point on the top, but with a little gap in it like that, and then that's where that is going to join. Pop a bit of tape on that just to hold that into place for a second, and now I'm going to squash that down a bit like that, and the same across those bits. So then that gives me more of a squarish shape. And now what I need to do is I need to cut this so that I've got a nice flat bottom to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut myself just a piece of card to give this a bit more security. Once that's flat on there, and I've got one side that's still sticking up a little bit too much. I'll just trim that off. So all I do is I keep trimming until I'm happy with the shape that I've got. And I am there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to this base. And then I will trim this base up once it's glued in place. I'll show you what I mean. So my glue gun's nice and hot now. And I'm going to tack this on in a few places first, so that it's nicely there. Because if not, what ends up happening is I end up bending it all. And then making sure that's all glued on there. And then once I'm happy with that, I will then go round and stick this down completely. Just going round it like that. I'll take a little stick and then I'll push that glue onto that base as well. That evens that up a little bit. And I'll go round and I'll do the whole thing like that. Well, that's all on there now and it's nicely stuck on, so I just need to cut this out, and all I'm going to do is cut around, not right to the edge because I don't want to cut through the glue as well, but I'm going to cut around where my glue is, because it doesn't matter if there's a bit of base on there, because you'll see why in a second. There we go, so that's all off there. I'm going to trim this up a little bit because this bit here is a little bit wider than what I need. And now that's all standing up there lovely, just like I need it to be. And now where I've taped this down, I run a whole bit of tape along there, where those temporary ones were. Make sure that that doesn't come apart. Not that it's likely to, but you never know. And there we are, we've got our little cone. And we've got 3 sides. And it's quite a nice little shape. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out my meaty glue gun. I don't get this one out very often. And this is my big boy glue gun, I always call it. And the reason I'm using this one is it can be a little bit quicker and you get a lot more glue coming out of it, but it's not ideal for all the projects I do. And I do love my cordless glue gun. I've got everything now sorted out, and what I'm going to use for this is my large ball of twine, and I'm going to push some into this top, and that is why I wanted that hole there. Really makes it easier. If you didn't remember to put a hole there, then just cut a little hole, nip it off at the top. And I'm going to glue that in first and let that sit there and dry off so it's nice and solid on there. I'm going to go round this with the twine all the way round, trying my hardest not to have any of the white exposed if I can help it. Now these big glue guns, they really do get very hot. Going round, continuing it like this. All the way around until the whole thing is completely covered in the twine. I'll carry on and do this, and then once it's all covered, I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Well, that's fully covered now, as you can see. I just need to take the cobwebby bits off from the glue gun. And that's why I left that little lip around the bottom as well. And that's all covered up there. And that is much more secure now. So what I'm going to put onto it now is a few shapes. Now, these are resin shapes that I've made from my other channel, but if you haven't got resin shapes, then you could easily just cut out of card any of the shapes that you wanted to use. And I've got quite a lot here, because anytime I get any leftover resin, I pop it into a mould or whatever, and then and then just go from there. Now what you can do is you could stick these onto this like this and leave it the jute colour, but I am going to spray this. And I'm going to spray it a silver colour with a little bit of glitter in. And then I'm going to allow that to dry up. And then I'm going to stick me bits on. And I want it to be quite multicoloured as well. And it's ever so easy to spray. So I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum paint. And I'm going to give this a quick spray. I'm going to take it outside and spray it. And then once it's dry, I'll show you what it looks like. Well, this is all sprayed now and nice and dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray it with a little bit of clear Seals and Protects. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of use it as a glue, because I want to put some glitter on it. And this is quite sticky. And I'm going to use a bit of glitter. And I've got it on this piece of paper as well, so that I can ensure that I pick up all the glitter that I'm not using. And then I can reuse it again. I'm going to do this all the sides, and then I'm also going to then go back over it once it's done with this to seal that glitter in. And then I'm going to stick the pieces on it that I want to stick on it. Well, that's all nice and dry now, which is great, and it really does make a big difference by putting that clear spray on it. It really does help that glitter to stick into that. And now you will get a little bit come off, as you do with any glittery decoration, but what you'll find is you won't get lots come off if you drop it or do anything with it, which makes a big difference, and it sticks on there lovely. I'm going to decide which of these decorations that I want on here. And now you could just have it like that if you wanted to have it nice and simple, minimalist, but I like to over gild it, and I love the glitter, as you know. Loves me glitter, loves it. And I think I'm going to stick a star on the top of it, and I'm going to use good old hot glue gun for this, because that'll stick on there, it will go nice and clear, and also it will stick on there permanently, which is really important. Oh, I like that. That's cute. I think I'm going to put the presents that I've got. I've got quite a few different presents made. I think I'm going to put them around the bottom, because that's where you would have your presents on your tree. If you get any presents. At my age now, unfortunately, I don't get many presents. And these will stick on ever so easily using this glue. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around, I'm going to decorate this all up, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like all finished as well. It's all finished now, as you can see, and it's really, really sparkly, and I filled it full of Christmassy bits and some hearts and some snowflakes. I think that looks really, really cute. Great way to use up all your bits and pieces. Really cost nothing other than I had the glitter and the jute, the card, and all these resin bits were left over. And don't forget, if you haven't got the resin bits and you want to make it, then you could cut some card bits out or stick some decorations that you've got on it. There's lots of possibilities. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. I'd be interested to find out. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos and help support this channel, the link for that is in the description below. I'll also link my playlist on some other Christmas things that I've got as well that you might be interested in seeing. So check those out next. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.